So welcome back to part 3 in this video series, Winning Webinars and Teleclasses, How to Attract Ideal Attendees and Convert Them to Eager Clients. I'm Nancy Fox, and many people refer to me as the Business Fox. I'm a mentor and advisor to service and information-based entrepreneurs, consultants, coaches, professionals, and authors, guiding them to grow their businesses with top-grade programs and products. So before I dive into the meat of this session, I'm going to do a laser quick review of what I covered in videos 1 and 2. In video 1, I discussed the importance of selecting your laser niche audience for your webinars, teleclasses, and other e-learning programs and products. I addressed the fact that it's really important to identify the kind of laser niche that's really hungry for information that you have and that's ready to purchase in order to get this information. In video 1, I also gave you the one most important factor in connecting with your ideal laser niche audience. It's essential to get into their world and understand them from the inside out. I gave you a list of probing questions to ask yourself about your laser niche audience so you could successfully come up with a clear profile of this ideal candidate. Knowing your ideal laser niche will help you give them what they want and speak magnetically to them so that they're fully engaged with you and your message. Then in video 2, I shared how to create compelling content that's not only educational, but gives your laser niche audience just the right amount of information to have confidence in you as an expert, but not enough for them to go off and work on their desired outcome all on their own. I walked you through my 10-step system for doing this in your e-learning classes, both in teleclasses and webinars. Now, in this third video, I'm going to tell you about the how to leverage this compelling content that you've provided as you learn to do in video 2 for optimal results. We've seen that when you speak the language of your ideal audience, demonstrating that you understand their wants and needs and give them a sampling of how you give solutions and benefits they really want, you start expanding your influence with them and trust with them. Now they're really willing to listen, and they're listening to you with greater attention. Speaking directly to the pain points, the desires, and the issues of your laser niche audience attracts and bonds them to you. But there's one very important factor. You see, when you provide compelling content and then you add in your own special twist or your own secret sauce, so to speak, you also become memorable and magnetic. So what do I mean by secret sauce? Your unique approach, your unique style, your special message, or your system. In other words, you may cover the same topic as someone else, but you won't arrive at it the same way that they do. Nobody else does it exactly the way you do. That's your secret sauce. So let's look at some great examples of secret sauces. So let's look at Oprah. She brought a spiritual element to having a well-lived life. There are lots of talk show hosts, but there's only one Oprah. Then there's Rachel Ray. She's just not another female with a cooking show. She does a 30-minute cooking show. And then there's Tony Robbins. He brought self-actualization and peak performance into the coaching model. So what's the unique way you offer your services? It's a key question you really must answer before you're going to deliver your content to your attendees. You see, your attendees, they not only want to learn from you, they want to have a little bit of what you have created for yourself. They see themselves in you. So being able to articulate your secret sauce in your teleclass or webinar is a crucial part of leading your attendees to staying fully engaged and enticed in what you have for them. So here are some examples of this. For consultants, your secret sauce could be a unique assessment. For coaches, your secret sauce could be a coaching method or a system through which you lead people. If you have a brick and mortar business such as a hair salon, your secret sauce could be sending videos and short webinars to clients to tell them about new trends and hairstyles. And along with your secret sauce, there is your story. At the beginning of your class, after you introduce yourself, you'll want to let your audience know what led you to lead your course. What circumstances, what learning experiences, what background prompted you to teach on your topic? And why should your audience listen to you? When I started leading teleclasses and webinars, I often told my story of transitioning from a 20-year corporate career to entrepreneurship and the mistakes and the challenging lessons that I learned, the hurdles I had to overcome to attain the great success that I did ultimately. Many corporate people related to this, and they felt connected to my topics and ultimately to me. By telling my story, my laser niche audience saw themselves in me and my experiences. Now, back in video 2, I talked about a 10-step system for leading your attendees through the content of the class and then giving them a very clear call to action. Having a system or a process keeps your attendees engaged throughout the entire session because they don't want to miss the one element that they've been waiting to learn about. In good webinars and e-learning classes, the content of the class is leveraged and leads attendees to the next opportunity. After giving great added value to attendees, leveraging the content should be the next thing on your list. Having a captive audience and failing to guide them to a call to action is like leaving money on the table, and it leaves your attendees feeling deflated and uncertain about what to do next. You know, when I began leading teleclasses and webinars, I made the classic errors that most newbies make. I really focused most on what I really wanted to teach, instead of really thinking about what my attendees were hungering for most. I was also very fearful of appearing like I was selling or pitching something at them, even though I wanted to invite people to work with me or consider my next program or product. That fear really prevented me from being effective, and I can tell you that the biggest error most hosts make when leading their teleclasses or webinars, they don't present a very clear call to action. Now, even the most fantastic content presented beautifully and in an engaging manner will not ensure a favorable result. The secret lies in the segue. When we lead our attendees through the teaching part of our webinars and teleclasses, we must artfully segue into the call to action. And the call to action is one of, if not the most crucial parts of the class. So, where do you want to lead your attendees after the class? Do you want them to come to your website and subscribe to your newsletter? Do you want them to attend a course that you'll be running? Would you like them to register for an event you're hosting? Would you like them to buy your book? So before you begin to compose a word of content, you really have to ask yourself, what's the call to action that I'm going to be making at the end of the class? This is the single biggest error made by teleclass or webinar leaders. They do one of 3 things incorrectly. 1, they do not make a call to action at all. 2, they make a weak or unclear call to action that doesn't speak to a dominant want or need of their laser niche audience. And 3, they make a hard sell call to action that turns their audience off. The objective is to learn to segue into a call to action gracefully and clearly. Share the benefits and the takeaways. Extend the invitation to the call to action, and then provide a time-sensitive offer for registration. Finally, include an appealing bonus designed to pull fence sitters over to the other side. And a final tip, don't rush through the call to action. Many people get nervous about the call to action and rush through it. Patience and clarity win the day. Once the offer is made, go back and give some additional content because you want to be leaving your audience feeling satisfied with the education they've received from you, and also realizing there's a next logical step to take, which is your call to action. Most people in your sweet spot have the characteristics I mentioned earlier. They're hungry for and wanting information, they're ready, willing, and able to hire you, and they're familiar with or experienced with buying online. These people will experience this process as appealing, enticing, and if their hunger and pain is big enough or immediate enough, they'll be eager to accept your call to action. Now, I'd like to give you some examples of calls to action, ones that won't work and ones that will launch you forward. So let's take a look at the calls to action that don't work first. Act fast. Seats won't last. Who believes that? What a turnoff, right? Another one. Thanks for coming to my webinar. If you'd like more information or you would like me to speak at your event, contact me at ... Not decisive enough, not clear enough, and leaving the next step very discretionary and without clear purpose. Now here are some examples of how to make really effective calls to action. If you're wanting the following results or information, X, Y, or Z, I have something that addresses exactly these objectives for you. Here are the details, and then you'd give the link to a sales page. I'm offering a special price benefit for early or rapid registrants. So if you register by X date, you'll receive X price and a bonus of ... And here's another effective call to action. I gave you lots of specific information on this webinar. It's not possible to give you all the necessary information in this very short time we have together. So I've created a comprehensive package of information, tools, steps, and action guides, which you can now purchase by going here. And a third, do you want step-by-step instructions on how to implement the information I shared with you tonight? Wonderful, because I'm hosting a special workshop in 2 weeks, and then I will go into all the necessary detail completely on how to implement all that I touched on in this complimentary webinar, specifically for your business, for your family, or your life. And here is where you can access all of that information. The details will be up on the website only through Monday evening at 6 p.m., so make sure you don't miss the next essential steps on tonight's topic. I hope you'll join me at my event, and I'll look forward to meeting you live. So these are some really good examples of calls to action where you're extending a logical yet compelling and informative invitation. The next logical step to what's been shared in the current teleclass or webinar is what you're now offering in your call to action. And because it's very natural and it's an invitation, it occurs for people as just very logical and very magnetic. There's no hype and there's no sneaky salesmanship. Tongue twister. So that brings us to the end of video 3. I hope you've gotten some really good information to apply as you get ready to host your winning webinars and teleclasses. And now, even though I've given you specifics in how you can structure your initial e-learning courses, I felt that there was some really important bonus information that was essential for you to have. And that's what I'm going to add to this series. I decided to do a bonus video number 4 on how you can use my acclaimed Foxology 4-quadrant formula for breakthrough results to support you in setting yourself up successfully with your e-learning programs and products. And I'm also going to share how you can get a comprehensive system for monetizing your know-how through e-learning programs and products, and how you can build a recurring revenue stream and substantial additional profits month in and month out. This is Nancy Fox. Thanks for joining me. I look forward to seeing you in bonus video number 4.